Yeah, hi, this is Ashwin, and I'm basically going to give you an overview for the tool that is built, that is around ISO 27001. It's more or less is your assistance to get certified on ISO. So let's start by explaining what is ISO. It basically stands for International Organization for Standardization. And that means all organizations that achieve an ISO 27001 are all working to the same high standards. Now, IEC, that stands for International Electrotechnical Commission, and that's a not-for-profit organization that work independently of any government sector. Now, together, the ISO and IEC form a joint technical committee, and they're basically developing and maintaining multiple standards in IT as well as in ICT or related technology. So when you achieve an ISO 27001 certification, you are basically demonstrating that your information security management system, or ISMS, meets the standards of the ISO model for implementation, maintenance, and continual improvement to that. And you're also managing the information security in accordance to the ISO 27001's requirements, regardless of the size and type of the organization. So let me take you through the tool and explain you how this tool can be useful to you. So initially, it actually talks about what is ISO, and in the takes you to the initial configuration. This is where you can actually put your user details. So I'm actually just going to say user, let's say program manager, and that's basically user one. It can be a real name that is based on how your organization is, and I'm going to say user two, and that's going to be the CISO. And on the technology side, you can mention the technologies that you are using, like a Jira or SharePoint or something like Teams and things like that. So I'm actually going to say technology one, comma technology two. You basically can fill it up based on the number of technologies that you eventually have in your organization. And then these are the different sections, and if you go inside that, it actually explains to you what this section is all about, and you expand this accordion and it actually tells you the policies that you have to create. So you can actually go through the policy and then mention that whether it is applicable to you or is it something that you're going to be decided. Means you're actually going to decide. You're yet doesn't know whether you need it or not. And if you have decided, you can actually schedule it, put a date next to that, and then put an end date when you're going to finish that, and then probably put the details of the user. Let's say, for example, while working, you need to add one more user. You can anytime do it. You come here and say user 3, and what other role that the user is actually taking. And if you come back here, you'll actually find that extra user actually shows up. Same is the case with the technology. To do this task, what kind of technology do you need? I'm just selecting one of them. And then you can actually mention a node. This is a test node in this case, and things like that. So you can actually go through each of them and then take you through each of these different annexure, and then it actually tells you what this particular group actually tries to cover and all kind of those things. Once you have completed all of that, it takes you to the last stage. That's basically telling you, if you see, you've only explained or kind of actually answered one of the question in the, or one of the control in the A5, and that has given a little bit of extra percentage to that. And the target is 100%, and you basically can see how much you're going through and things like that. You can actually download your project plan here. What does that mean is you open up the project plan, you get to see what kind of data did you enter. You actually can see the user details and all kind of those things. So it's basically the project plan. And the moment you have actually filled up all of that, it will have an available project plan with you, which you can actually submit back to your management and things like that. Now, if you look at the perspective, say for example, you want to come back to this tool later and then do things, you can export this project configuration. And say for example, you want to make your email look nicer, you can download this particular chart. What happens is it's going to download exactly how that chart looked in that particular window, and the configuration file is something that you can be useful. Let's say for example, you came to this file later, and then you basically can select an existing and then select whatever you actually had to download, and then click proceed. And then now you can actually see, if you go to that next year 5, you can see that all of this info is filled up and things like that. So you can actually use this tool for free. There's no cost associated. I'll put the link in the description, and go through that and let me know how far we can actually improve it, or if there is any advancement that you want to actually see in this tool. And you can actually see some other tools as well on the tool section on the top. Feel free to go through them and let me know how far it is. All right. So thank you very much, and let's see you in another one.